Hey guys, welcome to another video. The new season of RLCS has begun, and in today's video we're going to be looking at 3 games played in the Middle Eastern Top 16 closed qualifier between KRN and Veloce Esports. We're on Kiileerrz POV for this first game, and you'll notice that he is teamed with his twin brother Rw9 and a new teammate of theirs, Nader, or Nader. I'm not entirely sure how he prefers his name to be said. I'm going to call him Nader for this video because that's how the name reads, and I'll tell you all about what's going on with the new RLCS season in just a moment. But of course, first things first to address is that is a very nice ground dribble in 3v3 by Kiileerrz there, 1-0. That's not what I was going to say. What I was going to say is that for those of you who aren't aware, I'm sure many of you who are watching this video are aware, Rw9 and Kiileerrz were intending to play this new season of RLCS with Naupo, who's a very hyped up player by myself and many others, but he has been banned for a year for playing on someone else's account in the previous season of RLCS. So that's why they're playing with Nader. He's their new teammate, and it's really interesting to see how they're going here versus, well, actually their former teammate, Basil, B2SEL is pronounced Basil. It's not an accent thing, by the way, so all you Americans out there, you're not allowed to say Basil. I know that's how you say the herb, but it's actually Basil. That is his real name, and that is how it's pronounced. So I just thought I'd let you guys know, so because I was very interested to find that out myself. Oh, what a pass that is from Rw9 for 3-1. Kiileerrz on a hat-trick already. Rw9 with all 3 assists. Nader really enjoying his new teammates in this one. So where did this matchup take place? What exactly is happening with the new season of RLCS? I know many of you will be confused as to what's going on so far. So the way that the first split works is that the top 16 teams in every region, this being the Middle East that we're watching, are automatically seeded into a closed qualifier. The difference between a closed qualifier and an open qualifier is to get into a closed qualifier, you need to be directly invited, which both of these teams were because of their performances last season. And in order to, well, the top 8 teams rather from this closed qualifier will make it into the first regional event of the Middle Eastern RLCS for the Fall Split Regional 1. That will happen next weekend. So it's worth mentioning at this point, this is not necessarily a spoiler for these 3 games, although I'm sure many of you can guess how this is going to go with Kiileerrz dominance. 4 goals for him just inside 2 minutes. But yeah, they do in fact qualify. KRN do make it through. It's a Swiss stage, so you can make it through with losses, but they do qualify, so congratulations to them on qualifying for the first regional of the Middle Eastern new RLCS season. It's very exciting to see them doing well with the last minute pickup in Nader. So what more to be said about the new RLCS season is that as we progress through the season, you're going to see a slightly different format of re-qualifying compared to last season. It's a lovely little mind game there. Probably accidental, allows the ball to bounce in for 5-1. Essentially, there will be a closed qualifier for this first regional of every single season. Oh my goodness, what a save. How on earth has Kiileerrz kept that one out? He doesn't want to let the 4-goal lead get any smaller by the looks of things. So yeah, expect this to, well, you'll see this happening in North America as well. You'll see this happening in all of the regions around the world in RLCS. You'll have a closed qualifier, and then the top 8 teams, from the closed qualifier will directly go into the first RLCS regional. It's really exciting stuff. But okay, more about these 2 teams. We've got Senzo and SMW, 2 teammates who did play the World Championship wildcard together. They didn't go well there, but they have decided to stick it out together for the new season. They played with Twiz and Impressive in a kind of a 4-man roster at the RLCS wildcard, but now they are going to be playing this season, or at least this split at least. We're not sure, of course, how the entire season is going to go for any team, but they've picked up Basil, who used to play with Rw9 and Kiileerrz and had great results with them. So that seems to be a pretty solid team. They're going to be in the mix in the Middle East, but there's really only one team that everybody's talking about as the team to beat Falcons, and that is Rw9, Kiileerrz, and whoever else they play with. No disrespect to Nader at all, but they could have picked up anyone and everyone would still be talking about them as a threat to Falcons. That's how good these 2 players are. And they've been good since the very moment they turned 15 and started playing 3v3. They've been already top tier world class from that very second. Just think of the potential that they have to improve even more. So if you've got any questions about RLCS, just be sure to swing by my Twitch stream when I'm live. That's the best place to get me to respond to questions. If you want to know when I go live on Twitch, funnily enough, the best place to go is my Twitter. Twitch notifications are not the best. They're not very effective, so follow me on Twitter. I tweet before all my streams. That way you can tune into my streams and ask me anything you want to know about the new RLCS season, and I'll be glad to answer there. It's the best place to catch a hold of me. I don't often, if ever, see my messages, far less have time to reply to them as much as I'd love to. But yeah, definitely swing by the stream. I'd love to see all of you guys from YouTube over there. Appreciate all the ones who do swing by, especially those of you who do swing by and drop off your free Amazon Prime sub. And yeah, quick little self ad there. You can subscribe to me or any of your favorite streamers on Twitch for totally free. If you happen to have Amazon Prime, it takes a couple minutes to connect it to your Twitch account, and then boom, you can subscribe. That's the best way to support your favorite content creators. So let's think a bit. Well, let's take a little bit of a closer look at the gameplay now that we're through game one. Now that I've explained RLCS, now that I've sold out, and now that we've caught up with what is happening with these two teams, let's switch POV. That was Kiileerrz. Let's go and take a look at the new teammate of Rw9 and Kiileerrz in the second game. So here we are on Nader POV. At least I believe we are. All the cars look so similar that I'm really never sure until, there we go. We see both of the teammates come into the line of sight as Nader gets to watch Rw9 pass to Kiileerrz for yet another goal to go 1 goal up against 3 players with a ton of experience in the Middle Eastern region who just can't seem to handle these young guns. Now, one thing I think I forgot to mention this. I'm pretty sure I did. But one key piece of information is that we jumped into game 2 for this series because I wanted to show you one game from the POV of each of the players on KRN, very cleverly named, using the first letter of all of their names in the team. So we're actually in game number 3 here. Game 1 was in fact a win for Rw9 Esports, so the series tied 1-1. Winner of this goes through to the next round of Swiss. Yeah, without saying too much, in case you guys want to go back and watch the entire Swiss stage, neither of these teams are facing elimination at this point. It's the 1-0 round, so they can both still make it out. So it looks like Nader almost got a pre-flip with a speed flip on the back end of the car into some kind of a redirect there, which would have been very interesting to see. Looks like it was just in fact a lag hit though, and it's resulted in a counter-attack for Rw9 Esports. They get one back, but they really does just look like they're struggling to deal with the pace of KRN, and that's no surprise. I think most teams in the world would struggle just keeping up with these guys. This time it's Kiileerrz to Rw9. They just cannot be stopped. It doesn't seem to matter which order the pass comes from, whether it's Kiileerrz to Rw9 or Rw9 to Kiileerrz. I mean, this is just insane. Nader, I didn't make this video to try and point out that Rw9 and Kiileerrz are carrying. I didn't. I promise you I didn't. I planned before I even saw the results of this Swiss stage qualifier for the first RLCS regional. My plan was, okay, whatever the most interesting match played by Rw9 and Kiileerrz new team is, I'm gonna make a video about it to keep you guys updated with these 2 players and their new teammates, since I did make a video about Naupo being banned and therefore not being able to play with these 2. I didn't I promise I didn't make this video to show Nader getting carried, although that's exactly what's happened in this game so far. Rw9 and Kiileerrz just really connecting with every single play that they make, and once again, just look at the Twinergy in offense. Nader gets stuck in as well and gets over 100 points. Lovely stuff to make it 4-1. Yeah, they just seem to have a mind meld, which makes sense. They've been living together for their entire lives, just entering the world minutes apart and now taking the world apart with their Rocket League gameplay. Just how high can these 2 go? What is the limit for these players in their professional career? And this is just the beginning as well of Nader's play on the team. That's a great dunk, and he's going to take his time as well. Almost gets a flick past Senzo. Yeah, this is just the beginning of his time on the team as well. And the results that they're getting, the fact that Kiileerrz and Rw9 are able to connect so well up front, shows you how well Nader's moving around them as well. I think often third men and often new players to teams like this don't get enough credit for their positional play, because it would be very easy in this kind of games to feel like you've got to prove yourself and you've got to really go out there and do as much as you can, carry, get to the top of the scoreboard, or at least the middle of the scoreboard, and make a good impression. But Nader's just been doing his thing. He's giving his teammates space. He's trying to counter the opponents, and it's a really great way to play with 2 players who are so familiar with each other. And he might get a second one here. In fact, decides to go for the bump and leaves it for Kiileerrz and Rw9 to enter into the fray. But yeah, so far I'm really liking, well, apart from that little team 50-50, not entirely sure what that was. It seems it's almost worked out. But I'm really liking what I'm seeing in terms of positioning and mechanics from Nadir. He is not double committing at all. Well, maybe there's some double commits that aren't really that consequential. I think some double commits are, it's almost wrong to call them double commits in Rocket League these days, because it's advantageous for both players to go anyway, because the recoveries will be instantaneous in opposite directions. But yeah, I'm liking what I'm seeing here. I'm really excited to see this team against Falcons. That's the matchup that everybody wants to see. It hasn't happened yet. I really hope it does happen in the new season. Well, I'm sure it'll happen in the season, in the new tournament that's going to be coming up next weekend, the first regional of the new season, and many more as well. Hopefully we get to see a great rivalry develop between these two teams, and who knows, maybe other teams stepping up to challenge Falcons and prevent them winning all 9 regionals like they did last season. I think there's plenty of talent in the Middle Eastern region, and I think if a team like KRN can show that it's possible, if a team can show that Falcons can be beaten, then I think that might give the rest of the region confidence. We might start to see more competitive results across the board. Great defense from Kiileerrz here. He's just being an absolute menace, forcing extra touches. Rw9 called off that. Great communication there from Nadir. Decides to go for the mind game. Almost works it through. In fact, he does, and that should have been a goal. Kiileerrz pre-jumped, which is not entirely a wrong thing to do with such a massive goal lead. And look at Rw9's blind pass out of defense. These guys really trying to get the team plays working. It's not just about solo plays. It's not just about mechanics like you might expect from a young team like this. And that's a great read there from Nadir in defense. Just doing what he's got to do again. I can't wait to see more from this guy. He's just joined the team. They've hit the ground running with a great result here. But can they keep it up? 2 5-1s in a row against Veloce, who finished off the previous season. Well, 2/3 of this Veloce team finished off the previous season of RLCS as the number 3 team in the Middle Eastern region, at least when it came to teams who could play RLCS. I think if you put Rw9 and Kiileerrz team at that time, F16, into the equation, this Veloce roster would have probably been around about number 4 in Middle East. But yeah, definitely you'd expect SMW, Basel and Senzo to be able to compete more closely with KRN. Just not looking like the case. So 2-1 KRN lead, just one more win in the best of 5 and they're going to progress. Let's get into the last game of today's video, so no spoilers technically, although you might guess what the result's going to be. And we've only watched we've got one player whose POV we haven't watched yet. It's this man on your screen right now, Rw9. Let's get into it. So into game 4 of this series we go. It's the 3rd game of this video, of course. Rw9 POV, and they're looking to take 3 games in a row and progress past Veloce in the bracket, the Swiss bracket. Like I said earlier, they did qualify from this Swiss stage, but I wouldn't put it past myself to just show you guys a Veloce win here and then tell you that in fact Veloce won the 5th game as well, and KRN had to go through a much more troublesome qualification. It is possible, so let's find out. That's a great air dribble by Basel, but he's not going to be able to work it into a double tap. It's interesting to see Nadir getting the assist on that goal. It looked like the exact same type of goal that Rw9 and Kiileerrz were assisting and scoring in the previous 2 games that we've watched. They've just been so quick to read each other's infield passes and to read each other's passing plays in the final third. Rw9 here sticking around in the midfield, even though he's got 67 boost. He knows that there's no point leaving the area there to get 100. 67 is plenty, and this is something you'll see from Rw9 a lot. And I expect as Nadir gets more used to playing with Rw9 and Kiileerrz, they will see Rw9 become a bit of a 3rd man. It might just be a different kind of team where Kiileerrz is running rampant up front and you don't really have one clear 3rd man. This is a style that's really been shown to work quite well by teams like BDS, who started off with Mark by 8, kind of just running Riot up front, and then Monkey Moon and Extra just kind of waiting and taking turns in the midfield to be 2nd and 3rd man, whatever made sense in the positions, mostly Monkey Moon, but or rather mostly Extra playing 3rd man. It could end up being that kind of team. It's a strategy that's been proven to work by BDS and other very top tier teams. But whether there's a clear 1, 2, 3 like you have for Falcons, the number 1 team in Middle East, remains to be seen. Will it be Rawas at the back, Nader kind of just playing in the midfield and Kiileerrz up front, or will it be Nader at the back, Rawas in the midfield? Just look at Rawas keeping an eye on Senzo here, does not want to get bumped or demoed. So solid 50-50, didn't have a lot of boost off that one though, so it's going to be a very slow recovery. Very calculated play in the 4th game of the series here. They didn't get the blistering start that they got in game 2 and 3. They're still doing just fine. As Rawas cleverly deflects the ball to the side. They're doing a great job keeping the ball in the back corner defensively, not allowing it to center, not allowing it to be available for a big infield pass, much like it was at the other side. And that's a fantastic cut of rotation there by Nader. You can see that Rawas didn't have enough boost to really challenge the ball, and he probably wouldn't have liked to make a play on the ball if it was a shot or an air dribble coming at him. So Nader cutting rotation to challenge from behind was the perfect play there, as Nader and Kiileerrz again connect up front. Nader really full of confidence now that his team's in front by such a large margin. Well, one game, but with such strong victories in game 2 and 3, I think he's feeling a bit more comfortable advancing in this game, not having to sit back and let Rawas and Kiileerrz do all of the work. And Rawas has just adapted into that third man role of for this game at least, completely naturally. He really can, in my opinion, do it all. It's a smart clear there from Nader. Kiileerrz going to quickly follow up on it. Rawas thinking about making a demo play happen, but didn't get close enough to really commit to it. Oh wow, Kiileerrz going to flip reset on them as well. That's his second goal. 2-0. Kiileerrz has been an absolute monster up front. Veloce have not been able to handle him, and whether it's Nader or Rawas passing off to him, he just reads both players perfectly and reads the game perfectly, you can just say. He just got so good so quickly, Kiileerrz. I remember just initially hearing about him, hearing rumors that Rawas, who had been making a name for himself as a very high-rated player, competing for top 10s, top 1s in some cases. There were rumors that he had a twin brother, and Kiileerrz was his name, and I noticed, okay, yeah, that must be him down there at the bottom of the top 100, but that can't have been more than a year ago, and now look at him, he's taking apart some RLCS veterans, the players who've been playing in the RLCS for a year now in the Middle East. Getting absolutely demolished. SMW with a nice delayed shot there. Rawas pre-jumps to save the follow-up shot from Senzo as well. They're denying absolutely everything. It was a onslaught of offense in game 2 and 3 to get in the lead in the series, and now just solid defense, keeping it that way. You can really tell that Rawas is such a all-seeing eye when he plays. You can't sneak up on this guy. Everywhere he goes, he's keeping an eye on 3 players, and it's a great tip if you want to be harder to demo in Rocket League, is just count how many players from the other team are in front of you. Right now Rawas can see 2. That reason he knows that there's one behind him. That's probably why he jumped early there. Didn't want to stay on the ground and get bumped should a shot come through or a dribble come towards him. Just pre-jumped and got in the way of the final attack of the game, just to keep that clean sheet for 2-0. So 3-1 win there for KRN over Veloce Esports. Very, very impressive. When you look at these individual games, you can see that this team really look terrifying with their new player Nader. Can't wait to see the matchup against Falcons. Can't wait to see them in the first regional of the upcoming RLCS season. It's going to be next weekend. Good luck to them there. And actually at this moment, good luck to Veloce. They haven't quite made it out yet of the Swiss stage. I'm recording this right after the match happened, or not long after the match happened. So Veloce is still trying to qualify for this RLCS regional. 8 teams getting in directly through the closed qualifier. 16 teams started off in that one. I expect Veloce to be one of the teams to make it out, but Middle East is looking even more deep and even more stacked than last season, with all the new young players coming up and testing themselves against the veterans. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this. I had a lot to explain in this one, so hopefully it all made sense. Like I said earlier, if you want questions answered about the new RLCS season, my Twitch stream is the best place to get me. Try and get me after or between show matches. I'm glad to answer all of your questions and to keep you updated on all of the regions, and especially at this time, at the start of a new season when there's so much happening and so many new teams to watch. But this is one of the teams I'm going to be very, very interested to see how they go. And that's, just something I'm sure a lot of you guys share the excitement for. So, yeah, again, good luck to both these teams. Thanks to all of you for watching. Can't wait for the next week of RLCS, which is coming up very soon. And good luck to all the teams participating. I'm sure it's going to be a ton of fun to watch, just like last season was. So that's all we got time for, guys. Again, thanks for watching. I'll hopefully see you soon swinging by on Twitch. If not, thanks for watching on YouTube as well. And I'll see you in the next one.